Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Tyranny blind. Now I'm here in the Oldwalls.
I got it.
I'm pursuing Retomon. So let's explore the area.
Curious.
The crystal in the beacon shimmers softly as you bring the torch key to it. Touch the beacon with the amethyst torch key. Look there, that rune is glowing now. I volunteer to go touch it.
If a suit of armor topples with no one to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yes, it does. Okay, so I have 2 paths to go. Oh, I'll equip some potions for kills in shadow. Also, you can have regeneration, I guess. I want to explore everything anyway, so I don't think it matters that much which way I go first.
Can't do.
The crystal in the beacon is not responding to the torch keys from these old walls.
Sorry, I can't.
Okay, so I need more of them then. Iron War Mace, 24 to 30. I think Kills in Shadow's current weapon is better. Yeah, it is. By the way, I might consume all of the sigils before I forget about that.
Can't do that.
Touch the beacon with the torch key. Okay. This place is suspiciously empty of banes. Brackish, foul-smelling water pours from those spots and disappears into nothingness.
Can't do that.
Okay, so this is the way forward.
Can't do that.
But I actually want to go back, because there's still the path here, and I'm not sure, you know, what's going to happen if I go further. Will I necessarily have a way to go back here? I just prefer to explore all of it now, rather than risk not being able to do it.
Curious.
Okay, so that doesn't help me as much as I would want it to. How would you go in here? Like, I guess that's where the missing torch key comes. Yeah. Because this one I can't do anything with, right? So it doesn't Although, wait, I can.
This is interesting.
Prey hits hard!
Oh, great. That was super stupid. Can I... At least nobody died, so I guess it's irrelevant, ultimately. But better, that's a very hard-hitting trap. I should move a little slower, perhaps. Can I do anything with this? I can.
Rip with claws! Felt nothing. Felt nothing.
Okay.
Ah, got it.
Bane-touched gauntlets, Sigil of Terratus, control Gravelight. Okay, so that would be pretty good for... that would be pretty good for Ebb. You see worn down and faded rune embedded into the wall. It is currently impossible to decipher what the rune is. Landry's Voice of Ages talent is required to learn this rule, which is probably in the Sage Voice of Ages. I would need 2 skill points. I wonder if I'll be able to get back. That doesn't require that great of an investment, so I'll try to remember that this exists.
Can't do that.
Although I'm unsure how to get down there, to be
Can't
honest.
do that.
And not responding. Okay, so I need another torch key altogether for this. I wouldn't be able to get there anyway, it seems. Citron torch key. Would that be for that? Third piece of parchment depicts the sigils of the torch keys.
Sorry, I can't.
Okay, so I can do different things with it. Can I do both? No, I can't. So, what does this do then?
Your days end here.
Is that Retamon? No.
On it.
If I had kills, they'd be feeling that
This is useless. I should try something else.
One of the mercenaries steps forward, struggling to stand. Whoever you are, thank you. We had better chances when our numbers were greater, but things began to descend once the Bane ambushed us. What are you doing here? He winces again, discovering a new wound in his leg. We entered into the Oldwalls with Retamon, but we were quickly separated and our ranks broken by the Bane. Retamon pressed forward, told us to fight back the Bane and regroup once they had been defeated. But they never stopped, wave after wave, for hours. They never stopped. His face begins to drain of color. The mercenary begins to take inventory of your company. Did Retamon send you to rescue us? Well, Retamon never had any intention of coming back for you. I'm sorry. A streak of anger flashes over his face. Before it quickly subsides to despair. We had our doubts when we entered into the Oldwalls, and only a handful of the Brotherhood were given torch keys. As you can tell, we were not among them. The mercenary nods to his companions, and they grab what they can and begin to shuffle off. We'll be heading back to camp. We've had enough of this shithole for one day. Retamon can rot here for all I care.
That's how it's done.
Felt nothing.
Nobody heard that, right? A ringing sound?
Felt
It's
nothing.
not just in your ears.
Hope you'll have better luck than we did.
Your death awaits!
Felt nothing. Felt nothing. Strong strike. Good. Still aches.
Okay, she leveled up. Gives a permanent health bonus and reduction to frost damage. Sure. A health bonus overall seems like a good idea, especially given how she can't wear armor. A piece of parchment depicts the sigils of the torch keys. Combined with the first parchment you found, you can see a crudely drawn row sigil in the center and a crudely drawn citron sigil in the upper left corner. Part of the third sigil can be seen in adjacent corner, but is obscured by blood. Okay, so
Right.
I'm missing a torch key anyway.
Right.
Maybe I found something. Or maybe I've not.
Will do.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Okay, I'll put a point into this, because I want this, if it has story applications, then I am interested in that.
On it.
Apprentice Garrick. Oh, that's the forge-bound guy.
Interesting.
The bloody dirt-smeared man cries out when he sees you. Thank the forge tender you found me. We have to get out of here before the Scourges come back, or the Brotherhood. I'm not sure which scares me more. You must be Apprentice Garrick. Did Master Lohara mention me? He is visibly relieved by the notion. So she's at least noticed her apprentice's absence. He chuckles softly to himself, his expression one of regret rather than mirth. If I could have predicted that, I wouldn't have come out here in the first place. I was searching the area near the Oldwalls entrance for unique metals or runes I could use in my crafting. I'm trying to advance to the next level of my apprenticeship. Impressing forge masters is much harder than it sounds, and Master Lohara is especially demanding. You really need to stand out, and I thought this was my chance. I didn't even know the Bronze Brotherhood were here until Sam showed up. I grabbed a discarded helmet and tried to blend in until I could get away. Their leader thought I was a soldier who got stuck away from his post, so he demanded I return to my duties. I was scared, so I followed my orders and went inside. As soon as I could get out of sight, I started running to find a way out there, but there was supposed to be a path to Lethian's Crossing somewhere. He shakes his head. But that could be just a story. Of course, I got turned around and couldn't find my way back. I barricaded myself in here to keep away from the Brotherhood's patrols and the Scourges roaming around. If you hadn't showed up, it would have been a matter of time before something found me. I don't care about the ban on the Oldwalls, because obviously I betrayed Kairos, so what do I care about his laws? What can you tell me about Master Lohara? She's strict, but makes sure things get done quickly and efficiently, and like I said, she's also impossible to impress. I figured I could find something in here to enhance my work. She would have to notice me. Now all I'm going to get is a lecture. He looks around, a forlorn expression on his face. That is, if I get out of here alive. You can exit the way you came. Tell Flatfoot Ferries that you're with the Fatebinder. By the fires of the forge, that is fantastic news. I can finally leave this place. Thank you. I'll make sure the Forgebound know you helped me escape. Okay.
On it.
Oh, that's the third torch key. Okay, and quite a few banes.
Softly to shadow, strike swiftly to kill.
Yes. Your day and
Felt nothing.
Killer performance.
take that!
The sunken relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol similar to one you saw at Ascension Hall. The relief is incomplete, and therefore the final form of the rune is also unknown. Make a charcoal rubbing. You capture a blurry but proportionate image. The newly added imprint fills the remaining gaps on the scroll, giving you a clear representation of the carved rune. I believe this has something to do with the symbol on the floor of the spire. But I already used that. What point is that for me now?
What's this?
Oh! Okay, I walked straight into it.
It's over here.
Will do.
Okay, so there's 3 of them. Rose sigil in the center, citron sigil in the left hand. Okay, so rose sigil in the center, citron sigil on the left hand, and this right here.
On it.
You have seen this symbol repeated with remarkable consistency throughout this place. Since the research of the Oldwalls has been forbidden, it is likely that the symbol's meaning has been lost to history.
Right.
A portion of an unknown sigil has been recorded on this scroll. The charcoal imprint is rough enough and incomplete, leaving the full design a mystery for now.
Ah, got it.
The writings describe the process of creating a magical accent. You should be able to decipher the instructions with access to a spire library and proper materials. Okay. Am I missing? Yes, I am missing something here.
Spotted something.
The crystal in this beacon is not responding to the torch keys. From here.
I need healing.
Sorry, I can't.
You see a worn down and faded rune embedded into the wall. It's another one of those that Lantry could read.
Locked to kills in shadow.
At the bottom of the pit, a small hole collects all the water pouring out from the spouts. Occasionally the hole closes and the water drains to some unseen location.
On it.
Okay, so I can't get through here for the time being.
Can't do that.
Retamon stands before a rolling ball of blue energy, his head seeming to bend and fold as light and shadow fight across his face. He wears an expression of pure ecstasy that immediately fades when the bridge retracts. Who interrupts me? He turns and sees you, his expression now one of fury. No! His voice contains equal amounts of authority and petulance. You cannot be here, this is for me, and I will not have you ruin it. How did you make it all the way through? You don't know the secrets of the Oldwalls. One of his men hands him something small and green, and he slips it into his pocket. You're incredibly tenuous, I'll give you that, but it ends now, you do not belong here. He stomps his foot, its dry slap echoing through an enormous room, and reverberating back in a quick patter. You do not belong here. His men involuntarily step back, away from his sudden rage. Just as quickly as it came, his rage subsides and he smiles, but it doesn't quite reach his eyes. But I might as well be yelling curses at the encroaching darkness for all the good it'll do me to admonish you. You never leave Brotherhood affairs alone, never keep out of something you have no business in. Still, I applaud you. I never expected you would get this far. But since you clearly have no plans of giving me some peace, you might as well stay for the main course, and trust me, they can't wait to sink their teeth in. Anything you would like to say before you turn apart? Why did you take the helm and kidnap Zdenia? They told me to. Retamon points to the glowing sphere and all the stone structures built into the wall. Once they start killing, they don't really discriminate. Flesh to rend is flesh to rend, you see. He taps his helmet, so this will ensure my safety. With the helmet I can drive them back. They will give me the glory, the chance to have Lethian's Crossing as mine alone. He laughs, and the sound eerily echoing back in the large chamber. Why Zdenia? To rebuild. Why, we will need a Master of Forge, and who better to take the role than the Master of all Forges? You're absolutely insane if you think I will ever work with you. Better yet, why don't you come over here and we will discuss our plans for rebuilding. Retamon grimaces and touches the purple mark under his eye. What is this prison? A havoc? What is in that prison? A havoc. Retamon whispers the word, in the throes of renewed ecstasy, a maniacal glint shining in his eyes that grows and ebbs in intensity as the light undulates over his face. Let Kairos send his forces. They won't win. I will raise Lethian Crossing before I let them have it, before I let you stop me. He looks at you, dangerously manic light in his eyes. This is my city. I found a lost sage. A subdued glee punctuated his words. He seems strangely agitated, as if he wants to say all the words at once, but is also fighting with himself to keep from saying them. He told me all about it. He sang such a beautiful song for me. You have gone completely insane. What happened? You seem to be composed on the Ironhole Trail. Retamon's eyes narrow. I am on the verge of having everything handed to me, only for you to walk in with the intention of taking it from me, and you begrudge my emotions? I think I will particularly enjoy watching you die. Retamon's face grows red. You will not take it from me, he shouts. Lethian's Crossing is mine. They told me no one would believe me. They told me I would have to stand alone against armies. I knew you were all against me. Only the Bane have given me the guidance I need. What have you done with the sage? Retamon waves a hand dismissively. Oh, we intercepted him carrying a stack of books. I don't even know where he was going, but who better than a sage to ask about local history? He smiles, glancing from side to side, subconsciously licking his upper lip. He told me everything I needed to know to access this place. You don't think the Bane will kill you as soon as you release them? Of course they won't. Retamon looks at you incredulously. The Bane be praised. I have the helmet with their name in it. When I walked in wearing it, the prison shook. This will work. This is their will. Do you even know how to release Havoc? Of course. He shouts and stamps his foot again. He shakes his head at you as if the answer is the most obvious thing in the world. My special sage told me everything. He was very knowledgeable about the Oldwalls in this particular region, and the rumors of a key that could unleash the Bane. He didn't want to tell me. I could tell he wanted Kairos to have Letian's Crossing, but I showed him how wrong he was in that kind of thinking. He bites on the tip of his thumb, lost in thought. For a moment, you think he might have forgotten you were here in the same room, then he breaks the silence. He mentioned something about crystals and the 4 points of a compass, but it escapes me now. Frankly, he was singing so loudly that it didn't seem important to me at the time. What did the sage mean about the 4 points? Twiddles his fingers madly at the sides of his head as he tries to remember. It has something to do with unlocking the Oldwalls. He found the clue in an archive somewhere, something about a compass. Ah, he drew me a diagram. He fishes into his pocket and produces a torn scrap of vellum. He unfolds the scrap and looks at it with a frown. Of course, this is useless. Torn. It's not all here. He shakes the scrap around. Useless. Give me the vellum you got. It might be important. He mumbles to himself, scratching his head, looking back and forth between you and the scrap. Finally he relents, throwing it in your direction. I can't read it anyway, so it's of no use to me. Take it, why don't you? Any chance you'll give me the torch key you hid when I walked in? He smiles, twisting to the side so the pocket is out of sight behind him. Tricky, tricky, tricky. You're far too observant for your own good. By the way, you're a nuisance. He clucks his tongue at you. Give me the crystal now, or I will take it from you. You're welcome to try and take it, you fool. I am the savior of the Bronze Brotherhood, and your accolades are dust to be trampled under my boot. I was going to watch you be torn apart by the Bane, but now I see it is my job. They want me to make you the first sacrifice. He lunges to attack.
I got it. I got it. On it.
Can't take much more of this.
Nothing.
Weapon is junk.
Strong strike.
Retamon sinks to his knees, coughing. He looks up at you, bloodshot eyes wet with tears. How? The question is half-hearted and not really directed at you. How could this happen? I don't want to kill you, but something must be done. No. Retamon's voice is quiet and you can barely hear him. They promised me, they said. With every word, blood seeps from his wounds. He grows pale and slumps onto his hands. You cannot. He falls forward, dead. Light the 4 beacons to extend the bridge. Okay, he should have one more, right? Axe of the First Brother. Oh, on weapon crit, additional damage. Okay, I think I'm going to give that to Heavy Armor Iron. Nullifying. But I probably can't wear it, they need it for the settlement. But I'll give this to Kills in Shadow, I think. Okay, do I know which one goes where? No, because that's for the 3 of them. Are there clues? Not really.
Can't do that.
It's interesting that I can brute force it. And it doesn't really seem to mind.
Right. Interesting.
I don't think I was meant to do this, actually. I think I might have goofed a little bit.
Rip red with claws! Prey is too squirmy. Can't catch with claws.
Crap!
A well-placed hit.
Strong strike. Still aches.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't need that rip to describe.
Nothing.
I always hit the mark.
Where did all this...
Strong strike. Good. Still aches. Oh, can't prowl at all.
Will do.
Is it done?
Sorry, I can't.
No.
Need healing. I can't move. I'm just gonna close my eyes for a second.
I got it.
Okay, so it's all up to you. I'm not sure if you can do this, to be honest, but... Okay, okay, great job. Free for the Forge Master's Deya. Okay. Seems like a good idea.
On it.
The posters per second, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for the help, Fatebinder. The Forgebound are in your debt. But why is a representative of the Bronze Bastards here? She's one of the curs who perpetrated the atrocity at Lethian's Crossing. We might have been members of the same group, Deya, but Retamon and I are completely different people. We do not follow blindly without question while our friends and family die. I never wanted this, and if I had known, I would have stopped it. She speaks the truth. She isn't like Retamon. And yet she followed him, and that speaks volumes about her standards. If that is how the Bronze Brotherhood handles themselves, I must say I am not impressed. If this is the company you keep, Fatebinder, I will have no part in it. The Forgebound will not associate with such unstable group. We require calm, uninterrupted quiet, and I know we will not get it from them. You won't work together? I guess I still haven't sprung it on them that I've betrayed Kairos. I'm not sure how they will handle it. But you won't work together? We must stand united against Kairos, or all of this is for nothing. Absolutely not. The Forgebound work better without outside interference. The Bronze Brotherhood offers nothing to us. If you will have the Forgebound serving your army, it will be without the Brotherhood. Before now, you may have been able to convince me to work together, regardless of my feelings about the Forgebound. They are arrogant and condescending, but their work is unparalleled. But now? No, I am tired of dealing with them. The Bronze Brotherhood are a disciplined, well-trained crew. Our accomplishments speak for themselves. We will not help it if it means we have to endure their presence. Well, make your case. How can the Forgebound ensure we are victorious over Kairos? The weapons and armor available to your troops will have no equal. My Forgebounds will arm and protect your soldiers such as they will never fall in battle. Why are the Bronze Brotherhood a better choice than the Forgebound? No matter the weapon placed in our hand, we can use it to take you to victory. As the protectors of Lethian's Crossing, we spent our time training and refining our skills. Lead the Brotherhood into battle, and you will emerge a victor. Well, to be honest, out of the two, I think it's tactically, it's a lot better choice to employ the Forgebound, because first of all, they are master craftsmen, and they alone know how to work iron, which is something that the Bronze Brotherhood, which has bronze in its name, they can never provide that for me. But better yet, it takes an asset directly from Kairos, whereas I think, if I don't choose the Brotherhood, there is no reason we can still, at the very least, be neutral towards each other. So, Deya, I would have the Forgebound work with us against Kairos. You've made a wise choice, Fatebinder. Our weapons and armor will lead your army to victory. Are you sure this is what you want? By siding with the Forgebound, the Bronze Brotherhood will leave Lethian's Crossing. We will no longer be welcome in our own home. Well, That's contrived? Why would you not be welcome? It's you who want to leave, don't pin it on me. Your pride disallows you from listening to how the Forgebound don't like you or whatever. You don't have to leave, but if you want, I'm not going to stop you. I want the Forgebound to join me. Report to Ari in Vengeance Well. If anyone is able to end the war, I believe it will be you. You have shown masterful leadership skills, and your army is lucky to have you at its head. I will meet with Ari, and you will have weapons for your army unlike any other. She bows and salutes you. May the fires of your forge never cool.
On it. Got it.
Exquisite two-handed sword, you say? Oh. Those are some pretty exquisite weapons indeed. Return to Eldian. Okay, but before I do, there was a room here that opened, right? Unless... maybe that was... Does this go deeper? Runic hole, depths. It does go deeper, actually. Oh, no, it doesn't. This is literally the beginning. Because this is the exit? Okay, so it looped back to the beginning. How much until you level up, Lantry? It's anyone's guess. Quite a lot. Okay, I'll try to remember that those inscriptions are here, but I'm not sure if I will remember that. So was I in those side chambers before? I guess so, because I had to be to reach the top of the spire. Oh, the Vengeance Guard are here already. Fatebinder, it is good to see you alive. With all of the commotion coming from inside, Eldian was beginning to worry about you. He sent me to find you should you return. Soldiers from the Vengeance Guard arrived not long ago. Matani, their leader, said she brought them here to protect the settlement from future attacks by Kairos' armies. The challenges of the Oldwalls could never keep me from protecting Lethian's crossing. We're grateful for your protection. He bows deeply and then runs off.
Right.
Okay, so I need to speak with the Forgebound. That's the Forge, right? How are you, Garrick? Thank you for saving me from that foul place. You have returned. Lohara turns to face you, her body covered head to toe in charred hues, chest rising and falling under the strain of labored breathing. There is always more demand for iron than there is time in the day. She removes a set of heavy canvas gloves and balls her fists, the joints of her fingers crackling in unison. How may I be of assistance? I found apprentice Garrick. I've already spoken to him. The young weasel thought he could find rare materials in the Oldwalls, did he? I'm more impressed that he returned with his life than about anything he might have found. Thank you for your hard work, Fatebinder. You deserve a reward at least. I found the missing weapon shipment.
You learn something every day.
Thank you for finding our missing weapons, Stanis Javert. A sigh of relief escapes her. We almost had to leave the forge idle for a day on account of material shortages, and we've no desire to find out what will happen if we don't meet our quota. Add losing those weapons on top of all, and who knows what we would have been subjected to. We have everything repaired and back in right hands. She attempts a good-natured laugh, but it falls flat. Can you make something for me now? Can? Most certainly. Will? Well, Kairos invented queues for a reason. I have every... blah blah blah. Why are you even talking about... Have you not heard? We're rebelling against Kairos. I read that already. I don't understand some elements of this game. Like, did she not hear the news? I've betrayed Kairos and I've enlisted you for my rebellion. This whole city is full of oathbreakers. Additional spell slots. I still don't know how it works. What do the additional spell slots do? Adds shock damage to weapon attacks. Can I have all of them? Well, I guess it doesn't add actual damage. It just converts part of my damage to elemental damage. Is there anything else that I would want, like, other than the magic tree? I guess getting to the final one might be worth something. Sure, get additional spell slots, which I don't even know what it does, but sure, why not? As for you... increases the amount of breath retained at the end of combat. Again, still not sure what that does, but clearly something good. Otherwise, why would it exist as a skill that you can choose? Have you settled my blood debt? Deya's voice trembles, her body weary from sobbing. You killed your wife and tried to frame Sandro. How dare you accuse? His tear-streaked eyes widen with surprise. This is so absurd I can't even... She clutches her head in her hands, bawling. This is preposterous. Her face turns from flushed to stoic in a blink of an eye. She folds her arms before her and smiles. Well, mount me sideways. I thought I had gotten away with it. She looks down at her feet. Can't blame me for trying, though. Well, I absolutely can. You're going to fry for this. A sly smile crosses her lips. You know, Fatebinder, with Fedra gone, I have inherited everything she owned. Perhaps there is something I can offer you before you should you decide to leave things be. Well, first, I have some questions about why you did it exactly and whether you're sorry, although on the second front I doubt it because she's literally smiling. Really, what else would you want to know? Why was the necklace so important to you? It's not really. I just wanted it as proof that Sandro was dead. I was going to keep it around as a trophy, a reminder that in the end I won. Why did you kill Fedra? Well, for the estate, right? Living with Fedra was insufferable, always so happy and smiling, like nothing bad ever happened to her in her entire life. It drove me crazy. I was happy with her at first, but over time it wore me down, and I couldn't take it anymore. I wanted to show her that life can be mean and cruel, so she would stop smiling at me all the damn time. The dead do not smile. Why kill Fedra now rather than earlier? I wasn't originally planning on doing it myself at all. Fedra was supposed to die when Kairos' armies came to Lethian's Crossing. That was the only reason I actually married that little half-wit. I met Fedra in the Bastard City. It did not take long to learn that she owned a sizable piece of land. I courted for her for a while, and then Kairos invaded the Tears. By that time, I had her right where I wanted her. She was desperately in love with me and wanted us to be together forever. But she wasn't willing to marry me just then, so I stayed with her as we traveled and eventually settled here. Kairos' forces followed soon after. Her armies quickly occupied Lethian's Crossing and subjugated the town. Fedra was gravely injured in the war. I didn't think she would survive to see the next season, so I convinced her to marry me before it was too late. She agreed, and for a time I thought it would all work out in my favor. She would be dead and I would be out of town. But obviously she recovered. Thanks to Sandro, he wouldn't leave Fedra alone. As her friend, he was determined to nurse her back to health, and that fucker succeeded. Over the course of a few weeks he destroyed my years of planning, so you had to change your plans. I've thought of many different ways to remove Fedra from my life, but none of them were good enough to absolve me from any potential guilt. When the Bronze Brotherhood attacked, I figured it might be a good way to disguise my involvement with her death, but Sandro saw me. That little worm ruined everything. I had to deal with Fedra's body before I could chase him down. By the time I was able to locate him, he had put out some Bronze Brotherhood armor and was following them out of town. Why hailed a Fatebinder when you were the one who murdered your wife? That is actually a pretty good question. Because I wouldn't probably get involved if she didn't specifically seek me out and ask for help. I thought that would have been obvious. If I was the one who flagged you down, you'd be less likely to suspect I was the one who killed her. I was hoping you would just take my word for it and kill Sandro for me, but apparently he didn't have a mind to keep his mouth shut. Sandro told me a rather interesting and different version of the events. You're a persistent one, aren't you? She scoffs at you. Fine. As you probably know now, Fedra was a granddaughter of Lethian, which means she essentially owned Lethian's Crossing. Every month she would collect from these merchants and use the rings to maintain the market for their use. She only ever collected enough to cover the needs of the marketplace. She never considered that we could use those rings too. I told her to raise her rates, that the merchants could afford it, but she refused. Those filthy merchants all live better than I do. Well, there are other ways to make rings. You only say that because you're a Fatebinder. People practically throw rings at you to solve their problems. She tips her chin defiantly into the air. Now that I own this town, I can charge whatever I want. I can finally have the life I deserve. The only thing still in my way is that worm, Sandro. But can't I... Like, do I have to kill her? Is there no... Like, what's the actual authority of this town? Like... like, I think... Because, like, there doesn't exist an option here that would suggest she would go to trial and all that, which is the option I would most like. Because I'm worried if I choose this, it's essentially letting her go, and I can't let her go scot-free. She's obviously super guilty. Like, she's not only guilty of murder, it was a conspiracy years in the making. And she tried to frame another person and subvert an officer of the law to aid her. Like, there's like 5 different charges that you could level at her. But I would prefer not to just commit extrajudicial murder, but there is the option here that would suggest sending her to a trial of some kind. Like, I assume the Tearsmen must have their own courts, right? So, because I'm worried if I choose this, she's just going to go away, and I don't want that, so I am going to kill her, actually. I am a bit... I find the method a bit distasteful, but I think she has earned it. I've heard enough, you disgust me. That's unfortunate. She slides her hand up to her ear, pulling from her hair a long slender pin. Brandishing the makeshift weapon, she throws herself at you.
You have no hope!
Take that!
You know what the problem is with what just happened? That I technically committed murder right now, and with her being dead, there is little I can do to substantiate, you know, what happened. But I can't, like, turn back now. It is what it is. Hello, Fatebinder. What brings you to Lethian's Crossing? I thought you would be too busy to visit us here. What can I do for you? How did you end up in charge? It's good to see you, I guess. It's good to see you as well. I am always happy to see a friendly face. You're welcome in the crossing at any time. How did you end up in charge of the Vendrian Guard here? Ari requested that I take control of the garrison here in the crossing, so here I am. It's not the most glorious assignment, but I go where I am needed.
Right.
May silence of peace and the jangling of rings both follow you in all things. How can this fool help you? I recovered the Magebane helm from Retamon. Eldian's face breaks into an enormous smile as he puts out his hands in joy. I knew you wouldn't fail. Now we can put it back where it belongs. Please let me have it. Yeah, sure, of course. Eldian gingerly takes the helm from your hands, breathing a sigh of relief. Thank you, Fatebinder. No word could ever express our gratitude or touch the death No words could ever express our gratitude or touch the debt the people of Lethian's Crossing owe you. You have saved us all. Yeah, I'll be on my way. But I also want to talk to Gino, to tell him that I found the bodies and I know that he has spoken truth about, you know, Kairos' soldiers killing each other. And also, I found a note signed HB. So wouldn't that be you? Fatebinder, come to stock up, I see. Hurricane Bronze at your service. Well, apparently not. Or at least they can't bring it up. Allagan appears visibly shaken by seeing you in the flesh. Fatebinder, good to see you. I know you've been spreading false rumors about your brother. Allagan's face pales and he takes a small step back. How do you know they are false? I saw the bodies myself. They are Scarlet Chorus blood chanters killed by the disfavored. It was a simple mistake, Allagan protests. How could I know if they were chorus members or not? I had no choice, Fatebinder. Please, I have a family to take care of. He runs and starts to run away. What is going on here? Allagan is working with the disfavored to smear your name. Gino's eyes blaze in a bitter rage. Why, Allagan, after all those years? Why? His shout echoes throughout the settlement. Allagan shirks in place, his knees wobbling in an incredibly difficult effort to keep him from toppling over. Father always favored you, always pushed me around. I just wanted a chance to run things for once. Gino's face grows still while his lips remain as the only thing in motion. And you never will. Be gone from here. Never show your face again. Allagan's lips tremble in a failed attempt to mutter a reply, but eventually falls victim to the weight of his head as it drops down. He picks up a small sack nearby and slowly scampers off. Thank you for setting that horrid affair with rumors. Unfortunately, my name means nothing in the crossing. Perhaps you, as Tunan's Fatebinder, can speak to Eldian on my behalf and clear my name. I will talk to him right away. I was hoping you could clear Gino's name. I am the elder here, Fatebinder, but my word only holds so much weight. Without any evidence to the contrary, why should people believe one story over the other? I have seen their bodies myself. They were Scarlet Chorus members butchered by disfavored soldiers. Gino is innocent of the claims against him. If that is the case, how in the tears did the story even start? Allagan was working with the disfavored to run Gino out of town for witnessing them bury the bodies. You have done something wonderful here, Fatebinder. The needs of a small, weak man placed before your own. You're truly a wonderful person, and a force of change for the tears. I will have the other merchants and settlers... I will tell the other merchants and settlers the truth of the matter and clear Gino's name.
Right.
Greetings to you, Fatebinder. Have you spoken to Eldian? I did. He said he would speak to the merchants. Thank you so much. Now I can hold my head high in town again. What do you have other than fish? I guess nothing. But still, I was glad to help. Increases the number of enemies she can engage. Does that mean they don't get attacks of opportunity against her if they flank her or something? Useful for survivability, I guess. Okay, so what am I going to do now? Return to Ari, read the Sage's missive, Sage L. Okay, how's my reputation doing? Oh! Okay, so I should have gone and talked to Eldian before I killed her, but it was worded in such a way that I was worried she would escape, or even it was worded in a way that I was worried the option where I said, "We're done talking," meant she's free to go. Oh well. Dear Fatebinder Stanis Javert, may this missive find you in able health. I write to you in hopes of striking a bargain with the court. By the laws of Kairos, I am a purveyor of lies. In my work for the School of Ink and Quill, I have written many texts, and while some of the particulars are at odds with history as taught by those loyal to Kairos, I truly believe that our work is not blasphemous nor treasonous, and does nothing but exemplify the inevitability of Kairos. It is not my place to say what is or isn't worthy of censor. That duty, if I understand correctly, is yours. My offer is this. If you would preserve my texts, I would submit my neck to any sentence you deem worthy without protest. My life is of little worth compared to the texts that require my life's work the life's work of countless sages. I understand that such writings will likely need to be kept in a vault far from offending eyes, but if I can be assured our written echoes will live on, my flesh and blood are for the court to discard. If you are amenable to my offer, seek me out. My current whereabouts are far from the ruins of the Vellum Citadel. See the reverse of the parchment for instructions. If you make your way to the location, I will seek you out. Glory to Kairos, Sage L. On the reverse is a charcoal sketch of what appears to be a small keep built alongside the mountain foothills. A map of the tiers is drawn in a corner, with a circle that seems to indicate a location in the Bastard tier, north and east of the Bastard city. To be honest, I don't even care for censoring you in the first place. Like, people seem to be woefully misinformed about the fact that I've betrayed Kairos, which, you know, it wasn't some kind of covert betrayal. I was seen by hundreds of people fighting on the side of the Oathbreakers and killing Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus. Like, I killed Graven Ash's second in command, and nobody brought it up. Nobody. But I guess first, tell me more about what you're writing. Dear Lord or Lady, if you are sincere in your desire to surrender to the court, you're welcome to visit Tunon, the Archon of Justice, and seek an audience with him in the Bastard City. I assure you the Archon sleeps very little, and time will be made for a proper hearing. Beggars can't be choosers, and the guilty ought not to bargain when their only currency is guilt. Perhaps if you could provide me with more insight to your situation, I'd be less inclined to assume this is some sort of trap. Okay, but this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!